All right, let's settle it, or at least let's dive into it. It's one of the oldest debates out there, right? A rivalry that has split households right down the middle. Cats versus dogs. But hey, this isn't really about picking a winner. Today, we're going to dig into the science, the psychology, and all the practical stuff to figure out what truly makes our favorite furry friends tick. So who really earns that title of man's best friend? To get to the real heart of it, we have to look past all the cute internet videos. We're going to explore their ancient origins, get inside their heads, and uncover some pretty surprising science behind how they actually bond with us humans. You know, to truly understand the dog snoozing at your feet or the cat purring on your chest, we have to rewind the clock, way back. Because so much of their behavior today is hardwired, deeply rooted in the wild instincts of their ancestors. And it really all boils down to this fundamental fork in the road of their evolutionary paths. On one side, you've got the dog. They come from pack animals, where your very survival depended on cooperation, on working together, and on looking to a leader. And on the other side, the cat. They evolved from solitary, nocturnal hunters. Their entire world was built on being independent and self-reliant. This pack instinct is basically the operating system running inside every single dog. It's the reason they're often so eager to please us. You see, they look at their human family as their pack, and they see you as the pack leader. This makes them incredibly open to training and social stuff. They crave that closeness and attention because back in the wild, being alone was a really dangerous thing. And this is the core of the cat's mindset. That self-sufficient nature means they just don't have that same built-in need to please that a pack animal does. So what we sometimes see as them being aloof or distant, it's really just a totally different social structure. It also explains why they're so territorial. I mean, even just rearranging the furniture can feel like a major threat to their nice, stable world. Okay, so we've got a social pack animal on one hand and a solitary hunter on the other. How does that ancient history actually play out in our living rooms today? Well, this is where the science gets really, really fascinating. So to test this, researchers set up a super simple experiment. They'd hide a treat and then just point to where it was. The results were, well, they were striking. An amazing 96% of dogs jumped right in and followed the cue successfully. And the cats? Well, they were a lot more, cat-like. Only about half of them were even willing to play the game, and their success rate was way lower. It's a pretty strong sign that dogs are just uniquely tuned into our social signals. So it seems like dogs are just more in sync with us, right? Which brings us to the emotional heart of this whole debate, the bond we have with them. We all think we know who wins the affection contest, but the real data tells a much more complicated and frankly, really surprising story. This quote really just nails the common perception, doesn't it? I mean, dogs have been bred for thousands of years to be our companions. Their loyalty is legendary. They wait by the door. They greet us with just pure, unfiltered joy. They seem to live for our approval. And that is a powerful, powerful emotional connection. But here's the twist. We feel this incredibly intense emotional bond with dogs, for sure. But is that the only thing that defines a successful relationship? A 2021 study asked a really interesting question. When you factor in absolutely everything, who do people report having a better overall relationship with? And the results were just stunning. When researchers surveyed owners, dogs won on emotional closeness, just like you'd think. No surprise there. But then, look at the other factors. Owners felt the cost of having a cat, we're talking effort, expense, lifestyle changes, was way lower. And because of that, when everything was added up, it was cats who actually came out on top with a better overall relationship score. I was not expecting that at all. So what's going on here? This is all explained by something called social exchange theory. The idea is actually pretty simple. For any relationship to work, the benefits you feel you're getting have to outweigh the costs. With dogs, the emotional benefit is huge, but the perceived costs, the walks, the training, the vet bills, they're also really high. Cats offer a totally different deal. Maybe slightly less intense emotional highs, but with way lower perceived costs, leading to a relationship that feels more balanced and, for a lot of people, more satisfying overall. This brings us right to the practical day-to-day reality of owning a pet. That cost we just talked about isn't just about money. It's about how an animal fits into the life you actually live, day in and day out. And you can really see that difference in perceived cost right here. For dogs, it's just significantly higher. And we're talking about everything from food and vet bills to the need for training, maybe daycare,
and just the simple fact that you can't be as spontaneous when you have a dog at home waiting for its next walk.
So, if you're thinking about getting a dog, the checklist is pretty straightforward. You've got to be ready for an active lifestyle. Those daily walks are non negotiable. They just need more of your time and your money for things like training and food. But the payoff? It's huge. You get an enthusiastic partner for pretty much all of life's adventures. Now, the checklist for a potential cat owner, it looks quite different. The demands are less about your time and more about the environment you provide. A cat can be perfectly happy in a tiny apartment and is way more self-sufficient if you have a busy schedule. The trade-off is that they really value stability and can be pretty sensitive to changes in their space. So a calm, predictable home is what's really key. So after looking at their minds, our bond with them, and all the practical stuff, we come back to the big question. But you know what? Maybe we've been asking it the wrong way this whole time. Research actually suggests that our choice of pet often says a lot about us. Surveys show that people who own dogs tend to be more social and open to new experiences, kind of mirroring their pet's nature. Cat owners, on the other hand, often tend to be a bit more introverted and self-contained, really appreciating that quiet companionship a cat provides. And that right there is the real verdict. There is no better animal. The dog's eager-to-please personality isn't superior to the cat's quiet independence. They're just different languages of companionship. The ultimate decision is really a matching game. It's about finding the animal whose needs, whose energy, and whose social style fits with your own. So let's end with a totally different question. Instead of asking which pet is better, what if we ask this? Which companion challenges us, comforts us, and encourages the habits that help us become a better version of ourselves? A dog might get you out hiking every single weekend. A cat might teach you the value of quiet reflection. The best pet isn't the one that wins some debate. It's the one that makes your life richer. And that's an answer only you can find.